There's a new co-offensive coordinator in place, Bryan McClendon.
Yes, yes. Actually, let's start there. Let's start somewhere positive. So the three official announced coaches from the University of Miami is going to be strength and conditioning coach, Coach Aaron Field, mustache, big swole dude, who's always screaming about juice and lifting and going crazy. He's the strength and conditioning head of the strength and conditioning department. He was made official a couple of days ago. You also have Coach McClendon, the co-offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach, who comes over from Oregon. Um, he has been made official. And a couple hours ago, one that we all had known that was probably the first thing is assistant head coach and offensive line coach Alex Mirabal. Those are your three who have been named official for the University of Miami from their public pages and things of that nature. So you know it is A1, 100% ready to roll. And, a lot of us have been trying to convince the Miami Hurricanes fan base to chill and understand that, things are different. And this is how you want things to go as far as being able to not everything be out there publicly and you be able to hit up your friend who knows a friend who knows a friend who knows who the next defensive line coach is going to be. A lot of these programs who are elite, they have things a lot more close knit, quiet as kept, and they kind of grow from there. Um, and I think that's what Coach Cristobal is going to bring to Miami, honestly, because some of us who know people who are blessed to have some connections, we don't even know. It's a big up in the air, and we'll see what happens. And to be honest with you, that really should be the place of a fan, to be able to trust their program and trust the athletic department to bring them the best, and not have to try to play captain save the University of Miami's football program anymore. And it feels good to be at that point, honestly.
Folks, we got the wholesome one here. So lock in, leave the comments and questions there in the live chat, and we will get to them as well. So depending on what direction you want to go, I'm seeing here that just in the last day, one of your faves, Nesta Silvera, has decided to move on.
Yeah, yeah. One of my favorite players, especially from the class of 2018, which now 11 of the 12 blue chip players from that class have transferred out. Um, and one of them they actually considered like half a transfer out, and that was four-star guard prospect Cleveland Reed, who transferred out, hit the portal, but then came back and rejoined the team. He's on the team, but Jaron Williams was a part of that class. Lingard was a part of that class. Brian Hightower was also a part of that class. Marquez Izzard was a part of that class. Mark Pope, D. Wiggins. So a lot of those guys who were blue chip ratio or higher have no longer decided to finish things out at Miami. No, I choose to look at it from a positive direction. Look at a guy like Nesta Silvera. He's given all he has when he's healthy here at Miami since 2018. Um, I, for one, nicknamed him Nasty Nesta Silvera because of the way that he played the game. He has this time, and some of the film he's put out there, some people love, some people hate. They think he's all talk. I, for one, just think he's a guy who understands his worth now, has understood what he's put on film so far, and wants to take his future in his own hands. I wish him nothing but the best, man. I hope he just. I don't think he'll pick a team like a rival, but if he goes to Gainesville, he goes to Gainesville. If he goes to Oklahoma State, where one of his not Oklahoma State, Oregon State, where one of his best friends growing up, Andrew Chatfield, former defensive end at American Heritage with him, who went to Florida and transferred there. Maybe he goes there. I don't know. Maybe he goes to UCF. We don't know. It's just speculation. But it's that one hurt. That one hit me. That one hit me, Mark, because I really love that the way he plays. I've appreciated him and as a person, from what he's done on the football field and how he's represented the University of Miami. And I just wish him the best. He received his degree, and he didn't like the grades that he was given from the NFL last year and this time around. And I think instead of going to the NFL and trying his hand at a combine, which seems to be kind of in limbo of us even having another combine due to what's happening nationally again. I think he just put his future in his own hands. He's going to go out there and try to find a program where he's going to stand out and make plays and do his thing.
11 games played this past season, so 37 total in his career at Miami, 38 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss. So with the transfer portal, the first thing that comes to mind is always playing time. So with him, was there any issue with how many snaps he was getting?
Yes, under the previous regime, Mark, they were really childish in some instances. So you look at a guy like Nesta, who had been a contributor and a starter in some instances, but you had this "or" next to his name in depth charts. You know, they're padding him up against the 6'6" senior and John Ford, who had never shown anything at Miami, as opposed to going with Nesta and going with Harrison Hunt and let's go. Let's just go play ball. You know, they still want to see what Ford's going to do. They want to see what Miller's going to do. I 100% get it, but after a while, you know what a young man is. You know, why are we wasting everyone's time here? And, you know, you could argue that he was the best defensive tackle. Now, of course, last year towards the end, Harrison Hunt started to make some plays. And also this year, Leonard Taylor started to make some plays. No problem. But you couldn't have a conversation about either one of those two if Nesta's not 1A, 1B, or even number 2 out of those 3, in my opinion, based on what he had put on film. So that's simple. But yes, this staff, the previous staff, was real iffy with the depth chart ors and trying to humble players and bring them back down to earth. It was a lot of weird stuff they were doing in the way that they handled our players, and more specifically, Nesta Silvera.
Was there anything else we needed to get to before we start going through some of these questions?
No, we got our new hires. We have Nesta Silvera. We're being told, Mark, be open-minded and keep an open ear to other players similar like Nesta Silvera to hit the transfer portal. Another thing that I will say is maybe this is the tip of the cap to us going to the 3-4, and maybe Nesta doesn't want to play the zero technique in a 3-4. That would make a lot of sense. So that's about it, though. That's about it.